Okay, my name is Zwana Innocent Guvea. I'm now approaching that age limit that people are worried about. I was born in Harare, grew up in Murewa, and came back to Harare. I think that's all that you may need to know now. Okay, my content creation career started when I was in university. I was so obsessed with the gospel. I was even called Pastor Eno because I would go and preach in rooms, dormitories, uh, campus hostels, to say. So they know me as Pastor Eno. So at that time, I liked recording videos because I really understood how important it was to spread the gospel through the media, in social media per se. And whilst I was still in university, that is when I started my YouTube channel. It started as a gospel only YouTube channel. And then I started giving my content to Pardon Gambakwe from Gambakwe Media. And then later I got to work with Gambakwe. And then we started out doing politics, writing articles on websites, and until I branched out and started my own platform, which was now majoring on politics and the gospel. Both these two things, they are intertwined. And later, I then went to stay in South Africa, and then from South Africa, I came back and I started pursuing journalism full time, not through university or any college, but just as an apprentice, how you would learn from the field. Um, I would say I'm inspired by, JJ Tavani. JJ Tavani is not a YouTuber, he is a TV anchor and a professor in South Africa. That's the main one inspired me. I'm sure I faced the challenges, but I'm not someone who hold on to challenges which I faced when I was trying. Maybe you'd say connection issues, like I was staying in Glenview at that time. In Glenview, you don't get Fibronics, which is almost the fastest internet in Zimbabwe, and I couldn't get that. I think that's the only challenge that I faced. I didn't face any other challenge because I was accredited from the start by the Zimbabwe Media Commission, so I didn't face any challenge. For me, I didn't knock any doors because this is an online based brand, and that is one other thing that is good about you doing your stuff. Maybe as a content creator or someone is occupying a digital space, you really don't need to knock doors. You really don't need approval. You really don't need endorsements. They can help you, but you don't need that. So I cannot speak much on that aspect. The only door that I actually knocked was the Zimbabwe Media Commission door because I was seeking accreditation as a journalist, and I didn't face any challenge there. So I didn't knock any door. I can say this brand, it's not self-made per se, but it's made by me and the people who follow me. Let's say the only challenge that I faced, the challenge that you cannot get high speed internet at an affordable cost in Zimbabwe. So you'd say if someone is a content creator or someone who rely on internet services to do their business, you might struggle or not afford to have high speed internet, Econet, Net One, or any other network. It might be difficult for you. So I think internet should just be made available to everyone at a very cheaper cost. It should be even subsidized, so that those who are studying relying on internet, those who are doing work from home relying on internet, or anyone who actually needs internet to have their business rolling can have that support, that network infrastructure. People can talk about Starlink, but it's not affordable to the common man. So I think that is the only solution that I think we should have if you are using the internet. Yes. The arts industry, mm, yes, it's a viable industry. Of course, we have had challenges in our economy, and when you've got challenges in the economy, you have challenges as well uh, in any industry that is in that economic space. So I think we really have creative people. We really have gifted musicians, talented musicians, gifted actors, whether skit makers, and a whole lot of other things. But it seems like it's mostly work for people who have got followership, people who managed to break out on the internet. But those who are struggling to have followership, they might struggle to find placement where they want to act. If they are an actor, they would struggle to find gigs. If you're a musician, no one knows you on social media, and you want a gig, you want to sing, you want to break out, you want to be on radio, it might be difficult for you. So I think if anything can be done so that we can be able to help those who are not big on social media, but we've got good talent, musicians, actors, something of that sort. I think that's pretty much it. I would say maybe because not only journalists, but many professions in Zimbabwe or in the world over, they've got male, they are male dominated, maybe except for nursing and other uh, fewer trades. But journalism, usually it's a male dominated. I think it's just the nature of the industry because most journalists they capture political news, and political news really needs people who've got a tough skin, and mostly men have got. But we are gradually seeing a lot of women now. They are now bold to enter into that storytelling and narrative uh, driving field. So I think that that's basically it. It's the nature of the industry. I think they should continue, and this should actually be encouraged. Both right now, because we are now in the what do you call it, technological era, or social media era. Let's put it that way. People they've got videos at the tip of their finger. They can just watch from their phone wherever that they are watching. So you don't need to train to be a vlogger. This is a career, this is a profession that people are making money from. We have got YouTubers like Anawode Maya. We've got YouTubers in Zimbabwe. We've got comedians and Amama V and Amanda Boss who are making enough money, who are making real money. So we have to take it as a profession. And those who are vlogging from a young age or making videos or creating content from a young age, they should be encouraged. That's just the same way that we encourage those who are playing football, who are learning football, maybe from 5 years from academies. We encourage them because we know that there's a lot of money in that field, and it's something worth pursuing from a tender age. That is the same with content creation, vlogging, blogging, doing videos from colleges, university, or as a student. You actually need to do that. So I would lie. But the media technology, maybe you're talking about the infrastructure that we use to broadcast whatever that we will be doing. Now, from print media, video media, something of that sort. We are not yet there to the level where South Africa occupies, or first world countries. We don't have the cameras that are actually needed to do that. The studios, the because from the internet, we don't actually have the high speed internet that affords us to do to to be engaged in that type of technology. So it's somewhere there, not at the top, but somewhere where we can just get the job done, but it's nowhere near satisfactory. that was long back. I'm actually forgetting. I think it was 2020. Yeah. Back then I was 2020. I'm not sure. But it's my first video. It actually got more than 8,000 views. And it was a political video, to say. And of course, I felt good about it. Anyone, what would you expect when you've got your first hit project? You'll be happy and excited. The best was Gospel Zigo. Gospel Zigo, this is a project where we report on issues that are related to the gospel, issues about going to heaven, issues about prophets, pastors, clergymen, whatever you can call them, issues to do with Nganga, Maprofita, my white garments, and that is the best project that I have ever done. And the worst project that I've ever done was called Soccer Zigo, where I was trying to report on sporting news, mainly soccer. It failed because I didn't have knowledge on anything that has got to do with soccer. Up to now, I don't watch soccer. My best collaboration is the because how do you how do you describe them in plural, like akawanda? So I would say whenever that I've collaborated with my friends, that's it's the best collaboration that I would have done. When I'm talking about my friends, I'm talking about those whom I actually create content with. We've worked on a project in Padari. It was a collaboration between me, DJ Sparks, Uncle Saint, Kundai Chitima, and Pops. That is what I would say the best collaboration that I've ever had. And the second best would actually be the one that we had at Capitalk. The show was discontinued. I don't know why, but we would have our show with Patsani and it's Nashi Chikuse, which would major on issues to do with gospel. If I'm given a chance to interview someone internationally, I would choose to interview. Who would it be? If it is locally, I would choose to interview Prophet Makandio because I've reported so much on what he preaches. So I would interview Prophet Emmanuel Makandio. And internationally, I would love to interview Julius Malema. I have a number of questions that I want to ask him concerning Pan-Africanism and a whole lot of things. And also Joshua Maponga Marara. I think that chance. How would you, if I'm given that chance, how would I made? But for you to find that chance, you need to be in government. Yeah? Obviously, you need to be the minister, maybe of arts or information and technology. I wouldn't know how they do their stuff, but I would just work on ensuring that the resources that I needed are actually provided. Let's say it's in music, people can have access to studios subsidized by probably the government or whoever is in that field, supported by whoever. So access to studios, let's say if it's music or acting, because actors actually need studios. Also access to resources like the computers, the cameras, whatever media hardware that you need. And also would make sure that careers like acting, if students need to study acting or music or whatever arts career or art study that might actually be needed, be introduced maybe even from early stages, from primary, secondary, up to university. So there's a lot that we would do, but you're only able to really do it to the best if you are in government or if you are the government, which I am not. Yes, I do. I've actually collaborated with Hasta PV. I do accept collaborations because for me to be where I am, also it's because some people would accept collaboration from a young upcoming YouTuber like me. So I accept collaboration, and if there's anyone who wants to collaborate with me, if what we want to work on aligns with what I already work on or with my values or what I do, but I really accept collaborations. That's local, local. You know, Pro Beats. Pro Beats is my favorite actor. The guy who sang Ibanga, is a movie maker. Maybe a lot of people didn't know. And then international, my favorite is Mr. Macaroni from Nigeria. He's a skit maker as well. That's my favorite. We can say continental. That is my favorite actor. My favorite international vlogger would be I Shall Speed, a YouTuber, we say. He's a very young American YouTuber, and he's always doing the unexpected. That's my favorite because he's always doing the unexpected, as I say. He's different from others. And when I say others, I include me, whether big or small. His content is unpredictable. He doesn't follow the crowd. He's just doing his things. His I shall speed, and he's winning. Ah, I don't have something else that I do except to provide consultant services to people who need anything that is in the line of marketing, digital marketing, something of that sort. But I can say I'm a full time journalist. I would say to anyone who wants to be like me, of course, I don't want to be like me. I want to be someone better than me. Uh, I would say you should start from where you are, in the sense that you don't need to have 4K cameras, Sony, Panasonic cameras, which cost $4,000 and good microphones for you to start. I started with a Samsung A5. That was my phone, and I was using it to shoot videos. I was using it to upload videos, to edit videos. I was using KineMaster and InShot, and I was competing with people who had got high performance laptops, people who had high speed internet from wherever that they were working from. I was competing with media houses. I was competing with people who actually had teams. So I would say you don't have to wait for you to have everything that you need for you to start out. Use the phone that you are using to communicate on WhatsApp. The same phone that you are taking pictures with is the same phone that can actually change your life today. Of course, people can talk that there are no jobs, there are no chi, but in this internet age, there are massive opportunities which come from just using your phone like this, whether you are doing marketing, you are doing nails, cosmetics, you are doing farming, you can take your business online using your phone, taking pictures, taking videos, and don't be shy. I think that's the word of inspiration that I have. And also, specifically for those who want to be content creators, I think you should not focus much on the money aspect, on how much you get from the interview, from whatever you'll be doing. You should be obsessed with content. Like, you really want to do something that people will watch and enjoy. Seek good quality content, or what I would say, content which anyone cannot ignore or the majority cannot ignore. After you do that, monetization will follow, demand will follow, brands will follow, clients will actually follow. So that is the word of advice that I would give. Yes, of course I have heard, but whatever fight that you would find yourself with, find the most peaceful way to end the fight. If it demands you to fight, of course, fight. But solving issues amicably, ending disagreements whilst there's still time, knowing when to walk away. I've had my fair share of fights and attacks in that media, but the same way that you solve issues in our real life is the same way that we solve them kana paine chaitika virtually or chatangira pasocial media. So basically that's it. Yes, I actually have many upcoming big projects. And of course, I wouldn't want to preempt it because there are a lot of people who actually steal projects. So they will actually know what I want to do next and steal my idea. But it's something that will be entertaining, something that will be educative, and something that would be worth sharing to someone. So just keep on glued by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Facebook pages, and you get to see that. Those who are watching me, if you have already made it in life, then keep inspiring those who haven't made it. And if you haven't made it, be inspired by those who have actually made it. I think that those are my last words.